everybody, it's Bruce Kulick. Enjoy Tales of a Kiss Geek.
You want me to intro, or you're going to intro?
I was going to intro.
You're going to intro. You do it. You're the host. You're the guy.
Or
I'm just here.
You're me.
Yeah.
Or you could be me.
Yeah.
And
people don't even know. Like, we're in the same. Like, it's everything is weird. This is a weird episode.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to Tales of a Kiss Geek. So today I'm joined with Andrew Sgambati. How are you, Andrew?
You've actually pronounced my name right, but that's probably because we're like the same person. You know, you look at pictures online, and sometimes, you know, when my hair's looking good, you know, you think we're the same person almost, especially with sunglasses on. Especially,
yeah. We should have got them ready today, but yeah.
It's late enough in the day.
Yeah, I do not need them right now. People may know Andrew from Kiss My Wax. He's been in Kiss tribute bands. And, of course, you worked with Gene Simmons.
Yeah.
Which I find very, very cool.
Yeah, which actually, I worked with Gene Simmons' Moneybag Soda. And, you know, everything that I did had to get approved through Gene. So I could say indirectly that I worked for Gene Simmons at one point. So, and it was very cool. It was very, very cool.
I know you shot some video for him and stuff like that. Like, he approved different things, changed this and do this.
There's actually a funny story. You know, I work 9 to 5, just like a lot of people do. And one day Gene called into my work because he needed to go over like notes for the video. He's like, I like this, I like that, and this is cool, that's cool. And then he was like, who's the voice on this video? I was like, well, Gene, it's me. And he goes, well, I'm sure all the women like your voice, probably the men too, but I hate it and take it out. So it was just funny that's the little back and forth I had with Gene. Like, I was working and like Gene Simmons was calling me, so it was kind of funny. It was kind of fun.
And I'm sure you remember he had a nickname for you.
Paul McCartney, which I don't really see Paul McCartney. I see more Rory Gallagher than Paul McCartney. So, which I'm sure you get all the time too. Yeah.
My notes. Every time I play a show, so like if I play an acoustic gig, an electric gig, it doesn't matter. I get off the stage and I get a few, that was good, that was really good, we love your stuff. 90% of the comments are, you look like Rory Gallagher. Oh my God.
That's the thing. You're both from Ireland, right? That's why.
Yeah.
That's why. So
I think it's even more so that I actually do look like him.
You do. You look like him more so than I do. I mean, there are some times when, like, you know, I post a picture. I'm like, is that Rory Gallagher or is it me? But then sometimes someone's like, oh yeah, I see the Paul McCartney thing. So,
yeah.
Gene wrote it on my vault, so it must be true. So I actually did the vault experience, and Gene signed my vault. You really do look like Paul McCartney, Gene Simmons. And there's always posters and stuff on top of it. I mean, yeah, too much. I mean, just like you, I got way too much Kiss stuff. Way too much.
No, I don't have way too much Kiss stuff. If you want to, like, you know, I'll give you my address.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. You took it out?
I took it out. So this stands on my desk, and this kind of overlooks everything I do. The Gene. This is actually why I got the vault, because I wanted this stupid, unarticulated figure. But I actually really love it. So,
so cool.
So it's cool. So it just sits on, like, my monitor. It just sits, you know, right there.
I have a question about the vault.
Yeah.
So, like, how much of that stuff would you... Right, so because I've been looking through YouTube and different demo tapes and the kind of Psycho Circus era, and I found a lot of, like, B-roll kind of stuff that they haven't used and they could put together for an album. So my question for you is, how much stuff from that vault could you really put together and make a solid album with?
Well, a lot of it is like early versions of stuff. There's like 10 early versions of Only You. So, but there's cool stuff on there. There's a demo from the 80s called Promise the Moon, which I really like. I really, really like Gene's original demo of Legends Never Die. You might not know, but Wendy O. Williams did a lot of that stuff on her first Wow record. So
she did that song.
Thief in the Night. Thief in the Night. Oh, she did It's My Life as well too. So she did Thief in the Night, It's My Life, Legends Never Die. That Wendy O. Williams record from '84, it's like a Kiss Light record. All the Kiss members at the time played on it.
Isn't Vinny and Ace and Eric on that?
Vinny, I don't know. I don't know if Vinny. Well, he might be. But Eric is definitely on it. Paul's on it, and Gene's on it. But Gene, he credits himself as like a Dracula alias, I think.
I think all of them have different aliases.
Yeah.
Because
But
I actually bought the album and I wasn't really that impressed. And I
no,
felt, yeah,
yeah, I felt like her voice. I felt like the Kiss guy's voice lends more to the style that they write on.
yeah, completely.
So, but yeah, it's still cool. It's still cool. It's my life is cool. I mean, you got to hear some of the cool stuff, the Gene Simmons Van Halen demos. Those were cool to finally hear. And
Yeah,
but they weren't selling the music; they were selling the experience. Those couple minutes I had with Gene when he gave me the vault, that was cool stuff. That was cool stuff. And the night before, because Keith Valcourt, the guy that basically ran the vault, he was a friend of mine. And the night before, I was like, "Hey, if you need anything, just let me know. I'm a paying guest, so just let me know if you need anything. I'm not trying to work a
yeah.
deal." So the night before, he goes, "Well, Gene needs pants, so go to the Gap and get him these jeans and this belt and hairspray and bring it to us at the hotel." So I did that, and I saved the receipt that I was like, "Oh yeah, I brought Gene Simmons jeans at the Gap." So I saved the receipt, and it's in my vault. So just it was really really fun for me. It was really really fun for me.
That's funny. You probably, like, I'd say as you had that receipt, you were thinking you're crazy. I remember Bruce asked me if I would do him a favor. He wanted to buy his wife a Christmas present,
Hmm.
and they don't sell them, or I'm sorry, they don't ship them over to the US. So they only kind of have them in Ireland. Do you know Boots, the pharmacy? I'm not sure if you know.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
No, well, they have Boots like in the UK and Ireland, and he wanted to get her something there. It was like a cool Wizard of Oz like makeup set. It was pretty cool. He
Mhm.
said basically, "Will you buy this? Send it over to me. I'll give you the money. No worries. I just can't get it because she's a collector of all that kind of stuff."
Mhm.
I said, "Yeah, absolutely. When, you know." So I sent it over to him, and I have my receipt as well. So we're two weirdos. Don't worry.
Yeah, I also have because I had to send Peter Chris some things, so I kept that too, and I ended up striking up this great friendship with his wife Gigi, and the whole thing is so weird, like, and this just leads back to all those Kiss fan films where I ended up doing them, and all the things that they've led me to. I mean, Eddie Trunk talks about them all the time. It's insane. This past week I hit 1 million views on them, and it's insane. The whole thing is insane. I never thought I would reach that many people or make that many people happy, and it's so cool. It's so cool.
Man,
It's so.
well done. I have to say I've been watching you on the different platforms like
Mhm.
Kiss My Wax, Kiss My Collectibles for years now, and I always thought like you were my favorite guy on those.
Well, good. Tell those other guys and tell them to bring me back. No, no, I'm kidding.
Yeah, you were.
They
Jason
they
Herman's cool.
they
Nicholas
do.
Booker, okay.
Yeah, they do a great job. They do a great job. I take nothing away from them. So
But
they
yeah,
they
but when I saw you on Eddie Trunk, I was like, oh, fuck yeah, this guy's doing well.
so that's weird how that happened. I was helping out with Peter Chris's birthday video, like providing them footage and telling them what to use and this and that, and
Yeah,
it just we Gigi and I started talking very innocently. She was like, "Well, what are you working on now?" And I told her at the time I was getting ready to put out a Live 96.
yeah,
Told her about it, and she's like, "Well, Peter would love to see it." So I sent them a copy, and they're like, "Oh, we loved it."
okay,
And I was like, "Cool." And she was like, "You need to be on Eddie Trunk." And I was like, "I would love to. I just don't have the hookup." And she goes, "Hold on." She goes, "Now here, Peter, we call Eddie for Andrew." And Peter called Eddie. He goes, "Eddie, you got to have this guy on." And then Eddie sent me an email and goes, "Hey, heard about you from Peter, and I want to have you on." And he had me on like the last live show of 2020, and he tagged me on Twitter. I mean, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. And I'm where Eddie is from. He's from New Jersey, which is where I'm from.
okay.
And I listened to Eddie growing up, so I went from listening to Eddie Trunk growing up to being interviewed on his show. And it was only a 10-minute spot, but it was so cool. And Eddie was
Yeah,
so cool and so supportive about this whole thing. So I was it if someone told me that that's what was going to happen, I would have been like, no way. And then it happened. I was like, this is insane. It's insane.
yeah. I saw it when I got up in the morning because obviously someone has to upload it on YouTube for me to be able to see it. Like so,
Yes. Yes.
I saw it and I was like, fuck. I was so happy. Like I had to wipe the smile off my face. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah. And he basically, he's posted about me a couple times, and every time he does, I get like, a couple 100,000 views, and he definitely helped me get to that million. Because there are other people. I'm actually proud to say that I've inspired other people to do the same thing that I'm doing. I don't want to be the only person that does this. I want to see other people's Kiss films. I want to
Yeah.
enjoy other people's Kiss films the way that people enjoy mine. So there's another cat who's been doing it, and I guess he's getting ready to put something out. But it's cool that I've inspired people to kind of take that passion to the next level, because Kiss obviously inspired us, so now we're inspiring people to do what they want to do, and that shouldn't be taken lightly, my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's enough people out there that are putting up good quality content.
But I mean, it's funny. I would follow tapers, people that used to bootleg and all those concerts and whatever. I followed them for years, and there's concerts on there for years, but none of them ever came close to the amount of views that I got. None of them did. And I'm not saying that that's like, oh, I'm the best. I couldn't believe it. First of all, I couldn't believe that nobody actually did it before me. I just couldn't believe that these people were watching it. It was bizarre. Whole thing was bizarre.
Yeah. No, I know what you're saying. I have to hit you with the question.
Yeah.
How many Kiss shows have you seen?
50 Kiss shows.
50?
50 Kiss shows, which is nothing compared to like a lot of other people that have gone.
Well, hang on, because 50 is a high number over here. Why is that such a round number?
Well, okay, so I lied. It's actually 49, but I'm gonna get to 50. So, but yeah, I mean, like that's a thing. I mean, like I went to 9 or 10 end of the road shows, and every time they come around, I'm lucky enough to have the opportunity to be afforded to see them. So, it's cool. I mean, they obviously don't come to your neck of the woods as often as they to the United States. So, like for me, there was one when the end of the road tour first happened. I think I was going to see them once or twice every weekend, just driving hours different directions.
Okay.
So, I mean, it doesn't happen like that everywhere. So I'm very lucky that I'm here in the United States. I mean, we're not lucky now because of the pandemic, but regardless, bands tour here more than they tour maybe other countries. So that's why. I mean, I've seen Cheap Trick about the same amount of times too. Cheap Trick is another one of my favorite bands, and Iron Maiden. I've probably seen them at least 10 times, just because it's shows like that are more accessible over here.
Yeah, it's funny. More of the mainstream artists, like the Iron Maidens and stuff like that, like come over here. I've actually seen Guns N' Roses more times than I've seen Kiss.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm sure you've seen Motley Crue.
Yeah, a bunch of times.
Motley Crue have never been here.
You're not really missing much. I mean, Vince Neil is really bad.
You know what? My brother would completely agree with you, but no, I really want to see Motley Crue.
I love the records of Motley Crue, but like live, especially when I saw them in 2015 on their farewell tour before they came back. Well, they haven't really come back yet, but I just seeing them, I was like, Vince, it's just not good. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? But listen, I saw them in 2005 on their Carnival of Sins tour when they first came back together. I sat front row at Madison Square Garden in New York City. I met the band that night. It was incredible. It was incredible. And I was a young kid at the time too.
Did you meet the band with Tommy Lee or without?
Yeah, that was before Tommy Lee was left. So this was literally, I think, like 10 shows into their big reunion tour. It was super early on.
I know the one they had, like If I Die Tomorrow, and
Yep, that's that tour. That's that tour. Yeah. So it was great. It was one of the best shows I had ever seen.
That's cool.
But they went downhill after that.
Have you seen? I know we're really going on a tangent now. Have you seen Guns N' Roses since they've kind of come back?
I have not. I saw the Axl and Friends like years ago, but I haven't seen them back with Slash and Duff. But I did see Velvet Revolver when it was just Slash and Duff before they got back with Axl.
I was too young to go. The Velvet Revolver.
Yeah, that first record is pretty incredible. That first record's pretty incredible.
Wow, you say that, but I really prefer Libertad.
Really?
Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
I just remember getting it, and I was just disappointed.
Yeah, I think the more kind of pop aspect kind of suits them better. I don't know, maybe that's just my ears. But I do like the Dirty Little Things and, obviously, Slither, things like that.
I love that first record. I could listen to every song off that first record and just be good.
It's kind of like the first Snake Pit album for me in the sense that, like, a lot of the stuff is too much the same.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I could see where you're coming with that. But I like a lot of over the pond bands too. Like one of my other big favorite bands is Gotthard. And they're from Switzerland, I believe.
Okay.
Avantasia,
Reckless Love.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So, but it's music, and especially now with the pandemic, music's it's a different beast. I kind of wonder how this is going to change, if we're going to be divided even more than we were before, because a lot of bands wouldn't come from Europe or to the United States, or vice versa. So you wonder how that's going to happen.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. Have you heard the new Paul Stanley album?
Soul Station, yeah. Some of the songs I really like. I is probably one of my favorite songs. That's just a fun song.
Do you own it?
Yeah, I do.
What do you have?
The CD.
You have the CD.
Yeah.
Well, I have, because I took a few listens to it on Spotify.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, this is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But I have to take the plunge.
Yeah.
So I have the black copy, and I also have the purple copy.
So what I did is I pre-ordered that CD, and I guess I was one of those first 1,000, and my CD came signed.
Yeah.
So, but I ripped it into my iTunes, or it's called Music now, and I have a road case full of just Kiss CDs. Kiss is the only artist that I keep physical CDs of. Everything else is all digital. Yeah. And I got plenty of backups for everything, but yeah, I just, I really enjoy it. It's one of those things that I put on like a Sunday, and I'll clean the house, and I'm like, is it as good as Rock and Roll Over? Absolutely not.
No.
But is it fun? It's a fun record.
Yeah, it's funny, because I would say, like, you could have asked the question, is it good as Destroyer? And then there's a lot of people that would go, no way, just like you just did. But the way you have to kind of be in that certain mood for Destroyer.
Yeah, you do.
I think I have to be in that certain mood for Soul Station as well. Obviously, everybody does. But yeah. I think me and you would agree, Rock and Roll Over is one of those albums that, whether you're tired, you're sad,
doesn't matter. It's the best one. It's the best one. And that tour was the best. They sounded the best on that tour. As far as like a live band, they sounded the best. The makeup was looking good. And then you heard them on the Love Gun tour, and I thought, especially guitar-wise, I thought they sounded a little flat. There's just something about, they had more balls on the Rock and Roll Over track. Like, you listen to like Detroit from January 1977, it sounds better than Houston in September of '77.
Yeah, what do you think? Do you think the whole future of Kiss, and after the end of the road tour, what do you think is going to happen?
I think they're gonna be like a licensing juggernaut, is what I think. I think that what's that?
As if they're not already.
I think it's gonna be way worse. I think there's gonna be Kiss literally everything, and I think maybe we'll finally get some re-releases of some music, because it's been a long time since they've remastered the albums, and maybe they're gonna put some stuff out. I hope.
What was the last remaster? Was that 97?
Yeah, so the last remasters was 97, and the 97 remasters were like a huge improvement over the previous CDs. But I think we have better technology that could even make those 97 remasters sound better. I mean, you'll notice it in certain tracks, for like, if you listen to the Crazy Nights remaster CD, but then listen to the Crazy Nights album track that's on the box set from 2001. There's different mastering techniques there too. So I don't know. I'd buy them again. I mean, listen, I bought the album so many damn times. I know I'm gonna have to buy them again. I just know it.
I don't know. I'm not that kind of collector. I would be more, if I wanted to listen to the tracks in the best quality possible, I would go to Spotify. I don't know about you. I'd say you have a Spotify account as well. Do you?
Okay, so I just pulled out some records because I want to show you how many copies of the first record I have.
Please.
However, I hate Spotify. I hate streaming music. I've never done it. I never will do it. I'm the guy. I'm going to buy my CD, put it in my little CD deck, rip it, and then listen to it on my MP3 player or my phone or whatever. If I like the artist, I'll buy the actual LP, and then hopefully the LP comes with a digital download, and then it's on my computer. But I hate Spotify, hate Apple Music, can't stand it. Won't do it.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just of the first record, there's just Kiss 1974. There's 9 versions right here.
Do you have the version?
Which one?
You know what I'm talking about.
Is it the white label promo? I don't have that.
No Kiss in Time.
Oh yeah, of course. So this one is without Kissin' Time. So I got that. But wait, hold on. So then this one has that little Kissin' Time hype sticker. So this one is with Kissin' Time. This one's pretty rare.
Okay.
But this is the one. Hold on, I got the one. So this one, it has Kissin' Time on the sleeve.
Okay.
No Kissin' Time on the label. But when I drop the needle, no Kissin' Time.
No Kissin' Time.
Yeah, that's that version. That's pretty cool.
What is your take on Kissin' Time?
I hate it.
Oh, you really hate it?
Yeah, I hate it. It was one of those things that I never got that record until much later because I never knew the significance of the song, and I was like, I could take it or leave it at this point. For me, those first three records are difficult to listen to. I like Dress to Kill the most out of those first three, but for me, Love Gun was always the pinnacle because they had the coolest songs around that time. So Kiss for me, I never really, I know it's sacrilegious as a Kiss fan, but I never really got into Kissin' Time.
No, I completely get it. Like Kissin' Time is actually one of my favorites off that album. I think there's something about it that I don't know about you, but obviously when we want to hear like Strutter, we don't put on the first album.
No, we don't. We put on Strutter 78.
Oh.
That's what I do.
Yeah. Okay. Or yeah, just like when we want to hear Detroit Rock City, we put on the soundtrack, right?
Yeah.
From '99, yeah.
but I know what you mean. I know what you mean. We want to listen to Strutter. We're probably going to go for the Alive version more than any other version.
Yeah, but I don't know. There's something about Kissin' Time that like it just sounds better. Then I don't know if you've ever noticed that, but it just sounds. There's something quality wise that sounds better than the whole album.
Well, it was recorded later, obviously. We know that. Yeah. But also, too, I think that first record doesn't sound good. I think the demos that Kramer did before them sonically sound better. So whenever I want to listen to those songs, I love those demos.
Yeah. If I can butt in with a question.
Yeah.
Do you know, this is a really geeky question, do you know why the demos are in standard tuning and not E flat?
I don't. But like, why is there guitar effects on the demo, but no guitar effects on the record?
Well, apart from like the end of Black Diamond, I suppose.
Well, I mean, if you listen to the guitars are all in the clean channel on the record.
Yeah.
There's no distortion, but there's distortion in the demos.
I think there's like crunch or something like that.
But I mean, but listen, like, go back and listen to just the guitars in that record. They sound so much different. I mean, who knows? Maybe there was listen, I don't know. Who knows? Not me.
I'd love for someone to have asked these questions. Like you get Eddie Kramer, and it's always like, is Gene a nice guy? Or like, yeah. Is it like tea or coffee? Like, no, man, I want to know like the real questions.
I know in the 80s they were playing in standard pitch 440, but like in the 70s they were always playing half step down. I mean, now they're a full step down. But it was kind of always that thing where like a lot of bands, the records were on standard tuning, and then they always played a half step down. So it's weird. Who knows? Well, maybe we'll never know.
Maybe we'll never know. Would you like to see a new Kiss album?
No. Really? Only because Paul Stanley would produce it, and I think it needs to be produced by someone else. I love the songs on Monster, but man, they needed it. They needed a real producer on that record. It sounds bad sonically. Like when I listen to it on a pair of headphones, it sounds bad. I like how Sonic Boom sounds more, but I like the songs on Monster more. And I just think that, and here's why I think they need a better producer. Look at Samurai Sun, that single from 2015. Yeah. It's the best sounding thing Kissed in 20 years.
Yeah, and a lot of people are saying that about the new Soul Station album as well.
Yeah,
If they could have that kind of production on a Kiss album.
Yeah. There are other people in the mix, and when there are other people in the mix, I think they balance out. It's a good yin and the yang to Paul, I think. But no, I think I'm good with no more Kiss albums. I'm good with I want to hear live stuff. I want to see more stuff. I want to hear demos. It's clear to me that Gene or Paul don't sit around and write songs anymore. And I feel like if they had to do a record that wasn't naturally motivated, they'd have to sit down and go like, okay, I need to write about fucking today. Let me think. That's so that So I don't unless it was a natural thing. I don't think it would do well.
I feel like Gene writes a lot more than Paul does.
Yeah.
Like there's a sense, like I get the sense that Gene never stopped writing, because like I remember he put out he did an interview, I believe, with Classic Rock or one of those kind of magazines, and he said in 2014, because they're all geeks here, and he said, I've just written a song. It's gonna be on a brand new Kiss album. It's called Without You I'm Nothing, and I wrote it down on a piece of paper and I put it on my wall and I went, that's going to be the next Kiss song. And then
Ace did it.
Yeah.
It
Turns out Ace does it on his album and Gene's playing bass, I believe.
Yeah, that's correct.
So like I don't think he's ever really stopped writing songs.
I mean, he did stuff. I mean, he did stuff like the Vault single "Are You Ready" was cool.
Yeah.
That's a Kiss song.
That's with Tommy and Eric, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a Kiss song. It sounds like a Kiss song. But Gene also writes a lot of crap too. That's why you look at these records and there's like 75 Gene demos and Paul has 3. Paul's like, and 3 of Paul's songs are going to end up on the record anyway because he's just a stronger writer, my opinion.
Yeah. I think he's a stronger writer, but I think it's the sense that like Gene is more diverse and maybe he loses track sometimes. There's a lot of Gene stuff that's kind of weird that I'm really into, like a lot of stuff from the Asshole album and things like that. That I can hear why people don't like it, but I'm kind of going, that's cool. It's
Sweet Dirty Love. Sweet Dirty Love is cool.
Oh, that's really cool.
What's the one? If I Had a Gun is really cool.
I love the one that's
Now That You're Gone.
There's one that has kind of like electronic drums on it. You'll know what I'm talking about.
It's the Prodigy cover.
Yeah, I think that sounds cool.
Yeah, like, it sounds cooler than what Prodigy did.
Yeah.
Firestarter. Firestarter is the song.
Oh no, not that one. That's the one he had the video for, wasn't it?
Yeah. Terrible video.
No, I'm talking about the one that's kind of a ballady one. It's like
I can't remember. I haven't listened to that record beginning to end in a long time. A long time.
I've never owned it. YouTube is my
I worked at a movie store and I won a contest and my prize for winning the contest was the Gene Simmons Asshole record. And cool. I was like, cool, I got it. But there's some cool stuff on Asshole. There's some cool stuff on the Vault. But for me the coolest stuff is the Kiss stuff. It's always been way cooler when it's been Kiss.
Yeah, completely. I think, like, speaking of solo stuff, I think Live to Win is way stronger than any of Gene's stuff.
I agree. Live to Win is good. It's not a good follow-up to the 78 record because the 78 record is just like, it's perfect. That's a perfect rock record. Paul 78. It's always it's like depends on my mood. Either it's Paul 78 or Ace 78. But those 2 records are they're incredible. That's why when you have Ace 78 and then his next thing is Frehley's Comet. You're like, it's cool, but it's no Ace Frehley 1978.
You know what? I've only actually. It's funny you say that. Last night was the first time I put the first Frehley's Comet album on.
There's some good stuff on that.
Yeah, We Got Your Rock, stuff like that. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, Rock Soldiers, Into the Night.
Yeah.
Breakout. Is this cool stuff in there?
You mean Car Jam?
Car Jam, yeah, because it was, but it was always supposed to be Breakout.
Yeah.
But it's got some cool stuff. Some of the Ace's I don't like a lot of Ace's solo stuff. I really, really enjoyed Spaceman. That's probably because he had outside people working on him with that.
That's where we disagree.
Yeah, well, there had to be somewhere.
I would agree with you in the sense that I don't enjoy the Ace Frehley solo stuff that well. I love the 78 solo album.
So do I.
But I think, we both must love Trouble Walking.
Yeah, Trouble Walking is the best one.
But I would say like the kind of modern Ace, like right now, I'd say the best one is Space Invader.
My problem with Space Invader is like it was a lot of the same. And I think Space Invader is it's a couple songs too long.
Okay.
I think Spaceman is the perfect, what is there, 9 songs on Spaceman? It's
Something like
perfect.
that.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect length, and that's what she said. Perfect length. It all that stuff pales in comparison to like Hotter Than Hell. It's
Yeah.
I'm always gonna go to that stuff before. So, but it's weird. I mean, I like some of Ace's solo material. I like Paul's solo material, but I just want to see those guys play together. There's something about it that it sounds really cool.
I love You Wanted the Best from
Yeah,
Psycho Circus.
Journey of a Thousand Years is my favorite Psycho Circus track.
I love that whole album. Like there's one song that I think is too, maybe it's like kind of right now, but I think it's too overrated. That it's kind of like it's cool to like this song, if you get what I mean. Is Within. I
Yeah,
was never into Within at all.
I think the demo sounds a lot cooler
I've
than
never.
Within, and it's on the vault. And also, I think that whole backwards guitar intro is like, first of all, just get rid of that completely because that's Bruce Kulick playing that. Just
Yeah.
get rid of that completely because it was left over from Carnival of Souls. And start the song with the main riff. And there are little nuanced things. And let me tell you, I saw that song. They played it live when I saw them on the Psycho Circus tour. It's terrible. It was terrible live. Awful.
I
Worst song of the
remember
night.
when I saw Kiss in Dublin when they came over here. They went into like they opened the show obviously with Modern Day Delilah.
Yeah, yeah.
Which was the Sonic Boom was
This is a
the
big hit.
album.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe for you guys.
Yeah, for
Um,
us.
but when they went into I'm an Animal, oh my God! When everybody gets up and goes to take a whiz, that was the that was the song everybody left for. So
And there
I'd say
were
with
so
him
many
was
cooler songs on that record. Like, Hot and Cold would have been way cooler than I'm an Animal.
yes. Russian Roulette.
Russian Roulette would have been cool.
I think anything off of Sonic Boom is cooler than Within.
Yeah, I would agree with
Within
that.
Monster as well.
I'd agree with that. There are cool songs on those records that they deserve their day. Freak should have been played more.
When Lightning
Long
Strikes.
Long Way Down.
Long Way Down. When Lightning Strikes.
Yeah.
All for the Glory.
Yeah, those are good songs.
Yeah.
Those are good songs. But they just, they're like, well, let's just play Cold Gin again. I'm like, I'm sick of Cold Gin.
Yeah, I think Cold Gin like seems to go too long, or like I believe Tommy Summers is always talking about I Love It Loud.
Yeah.
Like he hates I Love It Loud. I'm completely the same way. Like
Yeah.
that's when you're at a Kiss show and you want to like record some video and you want to pick a song that you're not too into, but yet it's still kind of cool to record. That's my song. I Love It Loud is the song. Okay, 30 seconds done.
Three songs that I think Kiss should never play live again. I Love It Loud, 100, and Cold Gin. If they drop those three songs from the set list, we can get 5 cooler songs.
Okay, what would you put in there?
Let's see.
Now, I mean of everything.
Yeah, and I'm gonna pick songs that they might actually be able to do.
Okay, or just be you and tell me what you would insert there.
Well, first it would be Freak. I'd want to hear that song live.
Okay.
But I want to, I maybe want to go back and Ladies Room. Gene should be doing Ladies Room. That's a great track.
Yeah.
They should always be doing King of the Nighttime World, my opinion.
Yeah.
Nothing to Lose. Let Eric sing Nothing to Lose. I mean, that would go over great. And then like a super underground rare track.
I think he should be doing Mainline.
Mainline would be cool. Mainline would be cool. But I'm trying to think of a cool underground track that maybe something off of maybe something off Hot in the Shade. Maybe do a little. I'm not gonna say Betrayed because they tried that, but even like Rise to It would be cool.
Rise to It, yeah.
Yeah.
There's I don't know if you know, but I actually covered Cadillac Dreams.
Yeah, that's one of my least favorite Kiss songs of all time.
Me too, but Bruce Kulick was doing a Q&A, and he was like, "Oh, Glenn, there's a guy like in Ireland, Glenn Walker out there, who like he keeps doing Kiss covers. He'll probably do like Cadillac Dreams or something." And I was like, "Okay."
Okay, that's actually cool then. That's actually cool.
Yeah,
then.
I was like, the second this finishes, I'm gonna download this video and just make that my intro, and now I have to play Cadillac Dreams.
Okay, that's cool. I would have done the same thing. I would have done the same thing. I would have done the same
Yeah,
thing.
that's pretty cool. And come
But
here, tell me about your whole fan films. I want to know all about that.
so I went to school for video editing, so I've always kind of had this dream of like making movies and doing things like that. Obviously, I spent a lot of time doing music, so I didn't really have time to make movies. After I kind of did that, I started making little short films here and there. But I always wanted to
Okay.
do something Kiss. So I live in Cleveland, Ohio now, but I go back. I used to go back to New Jersey like once or twice a year to visit friends and family. So there was one drive that I'm driving home, and it's a 7-hour drive between Cleveland and New Jersey.
Yeah.
I put on my notes app and I was just dictating to my notes app, just talking about what a Kiss film should be. It should be set in 1977. You have to show the pinnacle of their success at Love Gun, and you have to have them talking about it, and it has to sound cool. It needs to sound as good as Alive 2, and just all these little notes that I were talking about. And I was like, well, they need to tell the story. It can't be just a concert, but it has to be like fantasy, and it should be the Kiss version of Led Zeppelin's Song Remains the Same. So I kind of was just talking, and then I got home and I was reading through this app, the notes app, and just going over things. I'm like, okay, well, maybe I can do that. And so I thought to myself, I go, well, if I'm going to do a Kiss fan film, where do I start? So I decided that I was going to take those three concerts from 1977, the two nights at Houston and then the Largo show from 77. And I decided, I go, the main part of this Kiss movie is going to be taking that and syncing it to Kiss Alive 2, where you almost don't know that you're watching a concert and listening to something else. So that was
And I'm
step
sure
number
that
one.
was really difficult because I know that like on the Alive 2 tour, they just played the stuff at like
Lightning
breakneck
speed.
speed.
Lightning
Yeah.
speed. And the way Alive 2 sounds isn't really how they sounded live in 1977, 1978. So it's like some things are sped up and some things are slowed down. And so there's really no manual how to do this. So I was like, well, this sounds a little faster. So, I slowed down the video 2% or I sped the video up 5%. And I just kind of
Yeah.
just mess with it to make it fit.
Yeah.
And once I knew that after I had this concert footage, I was like, well, there's a lot of fantasy footage from Song Remains the Same. But I was like, well, maybe at this time, and what I mean by this time, I mean by 1977, maybe in 1977, people wanted to know where Kiss came from. So what if Kiss was telling their story? So I used all
Okay.
these different interviews and all these different clips. So first, I transported you back to the 70s. You got to the loudest, most awesome Kiss concert, and then you had Kiss telling their story in 4 different parts, peppered throughout the movie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And as I was putting this together, I'm like, well, man, one, am I going to be able to do this? And number two, if I do this, will it be any good? And I had a roommate at the time who she wasn't a Kiss fan, and we watched it one night, and she goes, "I'm not a Kiss fan, but that was pretty damn good."
So
And
that
I was
was
like, I was like, really? So then I watched it again. I go, this is pretty good. And then I started kind of sending it out to people, and they were like, "This is incredible."
yeah.
But I was nervous about the unknown legalities of it. I know there are big fan films out there. There are Star Wars fan films and Superman. So I knew that there was like kind of like an unspoken law that you really don't make money on these things, but you can make them. So I kind of put it up on YouTube under an alias just to see what would happen. And
Yeah.
people flipped out. They're like, "Oh my God, this is great," and this and that, blah blah blah. But the joy was short lived because I got taken off YouTube like in like 6 days.
Because
So
you
it's like,
moved to Vimeo then, am I right?
well, yeah. So what I did is I was like, so I just left it alone for a while, and I was like, well, I was looking at this other platform, and then I uploaded it to Vimeo. It did reasonably well on Vimeo, but Vimeo has like 1/100th of the traffic that YouTube does.
Wow. Yeah.
So like, I'll do like 100,000 views on YouTube, and I'll get 5,000 on Vimeo.
Okay.
That's kind of how it breaks down. Because people aren't on Vimeo just like browsing. You have content creators that, studios like TV and movie studios, they share stuff on Vimeo. It's more of a video creator platform. It's not a public consumption platform like YouTube is. So there are just more users on YouTube than there are on Vimeo. So then I kind of let it simmer for a little while. And then I decided, I was like, well, let me go back and let me fix the things that I'm unhappy with. Because maybe some of the shots weren't color corrected. Maybe I wanted to make it in widescreen. So I went back, I did the Encore edition, and that's been out for a while now, and it's done incredibly well. But after I finished The Greatest Show on Earth, I'm like, well, what can I do next? And then I decided, well, I made the movie that should have come out in the 70s. Well, maybe I should make the TV special that should have happened in the 70s. And I
Yeah.
did Kiss at Midnight. People flipped out over that. That hundreds of thousands of views. So then I was like, all right, maybe I'm onto something here. Maybe this is going to be fun, and I'm going to make Kiss films. And that was kind of right around the time the end of the road tour was happening, and I had shot all this footage at all the shows I went to. And I was like, what if I told my story, but also Kiss's story? And that's kind of how One Last Time, sprouted, because it was mixing both of those things. And I wanted to be really careful to not have too much Andrew and not enough Kiss. But it was funny, the people that complained about it, which weren't very many, they were like, this is awesome, but I wanted more Andrew. And I'm like, that's weird. That's weird because I thought people would want more Kiss. Anyway, but now, I've done this Alive 96 and the reunion tour, and, people have been extremely supportive over these films. They say that these are the things that Kiss should have done. I'm filling in these gaps that Kiss has in their release history. And, people have downloaded them and bootlegged them. I mean, I'm sure there are DVDs out there that I certainly didn't make, but someone made them because they wanted to see this. But, as we're recording this, I'm over like 1 million views, and it's incredible.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's incredible. And it's only been since I really started promoting and posting these things since like June of 2019. That's kind of when everything moved to YouTube. So since June 2019, I have 1 million views for one guy. That's pretty incredible. And it's such a niche fan base. This isn't Aerosmith. This isn't the Rolling Stones or the Beatles. So there's a lot less.
I'm not too sure that like those types of fan bases would really go after such things like this.
It's possible. You might be right. I just know that there's a bigger fan base for the Beatles than there is Kiss, is what I'm trying to say.
Sure, yeah.
So having said that, 1 million views on a limited fan base is incredible. And I didn't pay for any of those. And I get no ad revenue. I get no money. And it's just something I'm doing for the fun of it. And even after 1 million views, Kiss hasn't come a knockin'. So maybe they never will. Maybe they never will. I don't know.
Eric knows you, so
they all know me. They've never really commented on the videos. It's funny. Tommy Thayer was on Instagram today and was like, "Ask me questions," and of course,
I saw that. Yeah.
Of course, the question that I asked that he didn't answer, which I didn't really expect him to. I was like,
"What color are your underwear?"
No, I said, "Hey, have you watched the Kiss fan film One Last Time? What do you think of it?" He didn't respond. Okay. That's okay. But yeah, listen, it's okay.
That's funny because he answered a question about Vinnie Vincent. Did you see that?
I did. So I'll just wait until next time, maybe.
You should be like, "Hey, answer my question."
Actually, I'm gonna do this right. I'm gonna do this live on the air right now. I'm gonna make an Instagram story.
Okay, I like.
Yeah. So we'll see. I think what they're doing is great. I think they're keeping the memory alive. I think they're paying respect to the ones that came before them. And any professional musician in their shoes would do the exact same thing. So I never got the Tommy and Eric hate. I think it's cool. Am I annoyed that they're wearing the same makeup as Peter and Ace? Yeah, but who cares? You know what? It's fun, and I'm for.
You are.
What's that?
You are annoyed by that?
Just like a little bit, but I was annoyed by it, but it didn't stop me from going. I went to the shows. I was like, I had a great time. Tommy Thayer sounds awesome. So whatever. It never bothered me.
Yeah, no, it's funny because I would have thought that like me and you would be under the same bracket, that like it doesn't really like there's like the kind of Mark Giacchinis would be annoyed by it. Do you know what I mean? And like me and you would be the younger generation, but I like for me, being quite honest, a bold statement maybe, but Tommy Thayer is my spaceman. Like he's the guy that,
Listen, and I would never hold that against you because I've seen Tommy more than I've seen Ace.
Yeah, fair enough.
Tommy was the guy that picked up the pieces.
Aren't you in Rock the Nation?
I am. I'm in.
Yeah, I remember you saying that one time. Sorry.
Yeah, Tommy is the guy, and anybody would do the same thing in his shoes. So I got all the respect in the world for Tommy Thayer. And he's a nice guy too. He's a nice guy.
I agree, and there's a lot of people that say, "Oh, no amount of money could make me do that," and
that's a lie.
It is a lie.
That's a lie.
And there are people that are Kiss fans that play guitar, That's a
lie. Listen, if they call me and be like, "How many whiskers? Two? Okay, got it. Done.
Yeah.
You only wear a wig? Done. Got it.
When? Yesterday? Yeah, no
When?
worries.
Oh, dude, I'm there. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
Man, coronavirus or not, I'm there.
Yeah, exactly. Same. And but I'm hoping that maybe they'll see one of my films and they'll just bring me on for just one project. That's
I think you're gonna get that.
We'll
And
see.
I think you think that too.
There was a time, so right before, right, because One Last Time was released at the perfect time. It was at the peak of the lockdown, and all eyes and ears were on that because they missed the tour because they just had canceled some shows and the people wanted to experience live music again. So 4 or 5 days before I put it out, the guys from Epic Rights, which is Kiss's merchandise company, contacted me, and they wouldn't tell me why. And I was like, oh man, they're either going to offer me a job or they're going to sue me. They ended up just wanting I guess at one point there were some releases planned that they wanted my help with.
Okay.
And whatever didn't come to fruition, that was fine. But they just was like, hey, if we needed something or if we were going to do something, if we needed this, would you provide this to us? And I was like, sure, whatever you need. And nothing ever happened. But I thought for sure when One Last Time blew up that they were going to come calling. They didn't, so it is what it is. But
well, isn't there still that Kiss documentary that's
that A&E put together?
Yeah.
And that was supposed to come out last fall. It didn't because of the coronavirus, but apparently it's still in the works now. And
do you remember? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, then they'll probably have it out. You were going to ask me about the You Wanted the Best movie, weren't you? The Alan G. Parker film.
Exactly what I was going to ask you.
So I've talked to Alan online quite a few times. Who knows? Maybe we'll see that at one time. I don't know. I got nothing but Alan's films that I've seen because I saw his Sid and Nancy film. I saw his Beatles film. But so for right now, I'm not really working on any other Kiss films. I have this Hot in the Shade idea that I've been kicking around for a while.
Okay.
But I'm just really kind of enjoying like having some time off and not doing it. Because if you think about it, I started working on The Greatest Show on Earth in late 2017, and pretty much since then I've been working on something ever since.
Okay.
And now is the first time where I'm like not glued to the computer.
Have you ever seen Kiss outside of the States?
Yes, I saw them in Canada, which is still North America, but it is outside of the United States. But I did go to Japan in 2006. So I saw the whole Japanese tour in 2006.
So you saw All American Man live?
No, I saw Kiss in Time, your favorite song. I saw Love 'Em and Leave 'Em.
Okay.
I saw, I saw like All the Way and all those other songs, but like
they did those cool songs, yeah.
Yeah, they did all those cool songs when I saw them for Rock the Nation. But yeah, I saw that Japanese tour in 2006, and it was like, it was really cool to see them in another country. They didn't play Budokan on that run, so I didn't get to go to Budokan. But that would have been cool if I did Budokan.
That's cool because I've only ever seen 2 shows in my whole life, 2 Kiss shows. So I saw Kiss play. Kiss have only been over here twice.
Mm-hmm.
They were over here on the Crazy Nights tour in Belfast, and they were.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you ever heard about that. Apparently the fans like spat on them and things like that.
Yep. Yeah, there's video of it, I believe.
There is video of it. It's really bad video, but like I don't really want to see good video of that. But yeah. I saw them over here on the Sonic Boom tour, the first show that I saw, and for the second one, I thought I'm never gonna see these guys again. Like they're never coming over here. I have to travel. So I thought, what's like in my budget to travel? I saw them on the Kiss World tour in Madrid.
Oh.
So just before they announced, it was actually, I think this is really cool. Some people have seen, like, you've seen the reunion tour. Some people have seen, like, the Winterland 75 show.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool. I think it was the 4th last Kiss show before they announced their farewell.
That's right, because they did like those handful of dates in the summer of 2017. 2018? Yeah, 2018. You're right. You're right.
You're right. They did 17, but and actually I got the tour book, but they I think they like sporadically added like 4 dates onto 18.
Yeah.
and they didn't put that on the tour book. It was something like that. So yeah, you are right. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was a cool transitional period because you knew that they weren't going to keep those Creatures of the Night costumes forever. You're like, they're not going to end like this. You knew that something was coming. You knew it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Like I'm kind of in the. I was kind of going with the flow. Like I was hoping that they stuck with the Creatures of the Night costumes or changed them up and give us a new album. That's
Yeah.
what I was hoping. I didn't expect a last tour. I don't know about you, but I didn't expect that it was going to come so soon, I guess, in my eyes.
Well, I mean, going back to one last time, um, it in 2018 they had some in February 2018 they had registered for the trademark End of the Road.
That's
So
right.
I knew it was coming. I didn't, and then when Paul kind of was talking about, yeah, we're gonna do a big world tour, and I was like, well, if they're gonna do a
You
big
were
world tour,
yeah.
there's got to be something behind it. Like, what are they gonna do? So I knew at the time it was probably gonna be the end.
You mentioned the solo albums. I feel awful saying it, but if there's one that I gravitate to more, right, I'm gonna say that my favorite one is Ace's. Ace's solo album is the best one,
Mm-hmm.
right? I think
Well,
there's no kind of argument. Some would
it's either
argue that,
Ace or Paul. They're so
yeah,
close together.
I, mm, I don't know. I kind of get the sense that, and this is cool. Like, if you're happy to leave this in as well, um, I get the sense that like if you took away some of the vocals on Ace's solo album and just inserted Paul, or maybe at times inserted Peter or Gene,
Yeah.
that would be the quintessential Kiss '78 album.
Here's
But I
here's
don't
why.
really get that sense on Paul's album.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Um, Paul's album is more of a complete mood album. You have those hard rockers, then you have the ballads, which
Yeah.
really wasn't apropos for Kiss at that time. They kind of had Beth and Hard Luck Woman, but they weren't a ballad band. But you're right about that. If you just kind of took Aces and maybe put Gene on one song and Paul on two songs, that would be the quintessential Kiss record. You are right about that.
Yeah, like you could totally have like I think Speeding Back to My Baby, put Peter Criss on it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm
Yeah.
driving down the road. You could
Yeah.
definitely have
He
him on
would.
that.
Yeah. He would. Yeah. No, you're right about that. I still think there. I still sometimes I think I listen to Paul's more than I listen to Ace's, but that's not to say I don't like Ace's. I do like it quite a bit. I just don't like. I like New York Groove live so much better than I do on that record.
I like that Brooklyn Bridge version.
That is the best. That's the best. So, and I remember that was. I remember watching the MTV Awards that night, and Paul's like, we love you. We'll see you all soon. And I something about it, just watching him on the TV, I thought he's talking to me. And then 3 months later, I saw them New Year's Eve at the Meadowlands in New Jersey. So when I was 11, changed my life. It changed my life. But like I said to you before, there are times when because we're musicians, we're artists, we're open, we're open nerves. There are times where I look around at all this Kiss stuff, and I'm like, man, like, I wish I almost would have chosen something cooler because this isn't sexy. If especially being a 34-year-old guy, if you're going out and trying to pick up a girl, you don't lead with, oh, hey, by the way, I have 9 versions of Kiss on vinyl. Do you want to see? You don't lead with that. That's not a good thing to lead with. You want to kind of ease them into the Kiss thing, just because it's a weird thing. It's a really weird thing. People think that it's so odd. They think that I just acquired this all in one day. But I'm like, I've been a Kiss fan for 30 years. I've acquired a collection over 30 years. So it's difficult for people to understand. It really, really is.
So what's your era that you first got into Kiss?
With the reunion tour.
The reunion tour.
I was aware of the band prior to that because I had like the comic book and I saw Kiss Meets the Phantom. So like when I was younger growing up, I realized that they had taken off the makeup or that Ace or Peter quit. I didn't know. But around the reunion tour, that's when I became aware that they weren't together. Now they're together and this is like they're back. So I have so many fond memories about the reunion tour. That's why it's my favorite time period to collect because I remember things that happened.
I'd say that's the coolest time to get into Kiss.
Yeah. Yeah, and to know that this was a big deal, and just I'm so fortunate that I got to see them, and I'm even more fortunate that there are great recordings of that night that I saw them at the Meadowlands New Year's Eve 96, 97. I have a lot of fond memories about that. If I can go back to one time, I just want to stand on the wall and watch myself watch Kiss again for the first time, so I can
Yeah.
like soak in more memories.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like it's funny. My first time getting into the band, they were on the Alive 35 tour,
Yeah.
and it just makes me so kind of envious of you guys that like you have the like Ace and Peter were never in the band for me.
Hmm.
It's always been Tommy and Eric.
Hmm.
So like it has to be kind of like I need to go onto Wikipedia or YouTube to see these
Or Kiss
guys.
FAQ.
Oh, completely. Yeah, with what's his name? Yeah,
Julian Gill,
Julian Gill.
great
Yeah,
guy, great guy.
I've been really enjoying those episodes recently.
Yeah,
They've done a few cool ones.
he's great. But what's similar to our experiences is there was a Kiss resurgence around Alive 35 because they didn't do much like 2005, 6, and 7. Around that 2008, 2009 is when they started gaining a little bit of steam again. Gene
Yeah,
Simmons' Family Jewels was huge. They were getting ready to do Sonic Boom, and they were in Europe for the first time since 1999.
yeah.
So there was a big resurgence on that Alive 35 tour, and it's led them to where they are today. Which is, can you believe it's almost 20 years ago that
Since,
tour?
since when? Since the
Since
reunion?
since well, since the Alive 35 tour. What's it, 2008, and we're in 2021. Add 7 more years, and 2008 was 20 years ago.
I would look at it more like Psycho Circus is closer to 20 years.
Well, Psycho Circus is greater than 20 years. Psycho Circus is 22, 22, 23 years around
I'm
there.
24. I was born in 96.
96. So yeah, so you were born like right when the good stuff was happening. I remember so many things about that night because it was just one of those things that I knew this was important. And I remember being cold. It was like 11 degrees. I remember waiting outside. I remember the opening band Ozone Monday was playing. I thought it was Kiss because I'd never been to a concert before.
Yeah.
And just so many things. And I remember like at the end, my mom didn't want to drive us home because we were an hour away. So we got a hotel in Jersey City, and I remember eating breakfast at some diner the next day, and it was just the whole thing. There were so many things. One of the fondest memories that I have about that time, and you won't remember this because you've always had the internet. You can just log
Yeah.
on and get whatever you want. Back in my day, we had to look in the newspaper to find tickets,
Okay.
and we looked in the
Oh, I'm
newspaper.
sorry. I'm sorry. Are you talking about the newspaper?
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. There you go.
Oh, the newspaper.
The
Okay.
newspaper. But
Maybe I was.
anyway, but that's how you found tickets back then. There was no internet. There was none of that stuff. So I remember looking like 2 weeks or a week before the show, and we found an ad for tickets in the newspaper, and they were face value, so this guy wasn't overcharging. And the guy was like, "If you get here before these other guys, you can have these tickets." So I remember driving on the New Jersey Turnpike to go and pick up these tickets, and at the time, the big hit single was "No Doubt, Don't Speak." So I remember looking out the window, watching the road go by, listening to "Don't Speak" by No Doubt, and I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that. So
And every time you hear that song, it has that link in your mind.
every time I hear that song, there's that lingering memory that this was the first time that I was going to see Kiss.
That's cool.
And yeah, it it was great. I'm so fortunate that I got to experience that, and so fortunate I saw them at Madison Square Garden, which is their hometown arena. Saw them there twice.
Yeah.
It was there are so many cool things that I've been able to do because I think pretty frequently that I'm like, what if I didn't like Kiss? How would my life be? How would my life change? Because I'm like you, I'm the weirdo.
But I think we're the same in the sense that we would be just geeks about something else.
About something else, you're probably right. Maybe I would be a bigger Star Wars fan. I mean, I love Star Wars, but maybe
Yeah.
that would be the thing. I don't know. I think about it a lot because I see that sometimes being passionate about something like this, it sometimes hinders some human connection because
Yeah.
people they don't know how to take it. They're like, man, I don't love anything as much as you love Kiss, and I'm like,
Yeah.
well, why? Like this is just fun to me, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
It's family and kids.
yeah, so when I have a friend here who's like, oh, my mixtape is gonna drop. I'm like, cool, watch my Kiss fan film, and they don't. I'll tell you the one thing that always changes the way I see people. If someone who isn't a Kiss fan watches my Kiss movies and then like comments on them, I'm like, that's it. That's a cool person.
Be my bro.
Yeah, that's a cool person. So it's a weird thing, but here we are. Where hopefully when COVID is not a thing, the Kiss tour comes back. It'll be brief because it's going to be the last one. But what's going to happen after this band? Certainly we're going to enjoy the music and certainly we're going to look back, but you're not going to be able to go to Kiss conventions anymore. You're not going to be able to go to Kiss concerts anymore. You're not going to be able to have that outlet anymore. So what's going to happen? Who knows?
I'm sure we'll find something else.
We'll find something, but understand that I'll be 36 next week.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, early birthday, same day as David Cassidy.
Oh, cool.
But just think, for 30 years, I had Kiss, and then now I don't have Kiss. So it's going to be a weird thing.
If we can be cheesy, I think that in the sense that you have Love Gun Kiss and you have Unmasked Kiss, you will always have Kiss.
Yeah, but what I'm talking about is like throughout that whole time, I was able to go to a book signing, or I was able to go to events because the band was still somewhat active that whole time. So one of the things that I think I want to do, and this is building off of one last time, I'm going to actually see if I can make a documentary of me going to my last Kiss show and documenting the fans and doing that. So, but I'm not really sure how I would do it, or like if it, I got so much to think about because I got to like mentally prepare for my last Kiss show. We
should probably acknowledge the fact that we're both in the same t-shirt.
We are both in the same t-shirt. ClickTshop.com. It's been very hot here today, so that's why my hair's a little flat, but typically we both look exactly the same.
But you know that if I do this, you'll feel it as well? Like if
I did. It's so weird. Yeah. It's so weird. It's this whole Kiss thing is weird. It's weird.
Weird. We're all you're watching this right now. You're weird.
They're weird too. What would have happened if we lived in the 70s? I always tell people, like, man, if I lived in 1977, it would have been the coolest guy ever. But would I have been obsessed with something from the 50s? Would I have looked back? Is that what is the attraction, looking back at history? Is that why we like it so much?
Find out next episode.
Yeah, find out. I mean, who knows? So the best way to get in touch with me is to follow my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/greatest show on earth fan films. That's plural. Subscribe, watch some of the videos. I would love to add you on Facebook, but I'm at the max. So like facebook.com/greatest show on earth fan film, and the same thing on Instagram as well. But the biggest thing, watch this on YouTube, share it with your friends, watch it. If you love Kiss, you're going to love these fan films. And hopefully one day you'll see my name on a real Kiss film where I've worked with actual Kiss. So, let's hope. But that's the best way to get in touch with me. And hopefully you like what I do.
Completely. Andrew, I want to say really thanks very much for coming on the show.
Andrew, number 2, I really appreciate you. And you're only number 2 because I'm only older. If it was the other way around, you'd be number 1, I'd be number 2. But
so you're Glenn Walker -1.
Correct. So it's so funny. I mean we've looked at different pictures of each other on the internet for so long. And I'm like, damn, that guy looks like me. So and here we are. Of course, the first time I actually cut my hair shorter than yours is when we're actually talking. But still, we're both the illegitimate child of Rory Gallagher.
Yes.
And maybe Paul McCartney a little bit.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Just a little bit.
If we can have an ounce of his
just fun. Yeah. But this was fun. I love talking Kiss, and some people go to a gym and punch a bag. I just like to talk about Kiss.
Or a gymnasium. That's a big word. That
is a big word, according to Gene Simmons. But no, man, I really enjoyed it, and hopefully we can do it again.
I had a blast. I really want to have you back. Thanks very much.
Hey everybody, it's Bruce Kulick here, and you're watching Tales of a Kiss Geek.